All right. So we are here with John from Lofty. He's going to explain to us the value proposition of Lofty and some of the most basic but user-friendly features that set Lofty apart from other CRMs, and why we at Radius highly recommend our agents use Lofty as their CRM of choice. So John,
Great.
take it away, and interactive, so everybody feel free to chime in and ask questions as we go.
Yeah, feel free. And certainly, whatever the questions are, there's no question that is not going to be answered. So feel free, whatever the topic is. So I'm with Lofty, been here for about 4 years, and certainly we have a good relationship with Radius. We're excited about it, and give you guys an overview. First, we're going to take a walk through on the aesthetic styles of websites, then give you an agent view, and really what our value premise is in terms of hallmarks. So one of the things I want you guys to remember is that our whole entire platform is dedicated toward allowing you to focus on some of the things that you're good at, such as selling, right? That's why we're on real estate, nurturing your clients. Our AI is second to none. It's the only machine learning algorithm in the business. We developed it. It's based on Google's machine learning algorithm. And really where we separate ourselves is nurturement through the entire sales life cycle of your client. And that means once we capture people who are interested in properties, all the way through the transaction and beyond. And you want to continue to stay top of mind awareness. So our AI is conversational, meaning that if any of you have Hey Alexa in your home and you talk to it, like ask it a question, what's the weather? As Alexa wants to actually understand your habits, like, are you commuting? Or are you doing other things? What's the weather like? They're going to ask you, you want to know other stuff too? Our particular AI wants to know that about your customers, and we'll ask questions associated. We're 98.8% accurate in terms of the English language. And with that being said, we're going to dive right in. So first, I'm going to give you guys sort of a 50,000 foot view and distill kind of down to the agent level in terms of like some of the more nitty gritty stuff. So let's kind of just take a look at some of our aesthetics from a viewpoint of what happens with real estate. So what we're going to do here is give you an idea. So you see some of the moving videos, you see some of the more interactive type of feel. These are very interactive with your clients. And so if you have that, you can cascade them, you can put in moving videos, as opposed to like, let's just take a look at this one. This is a more traditional type of setting. This is more conservative in its feel and look, but we're going to cover your area. We're also going to connect your MLSs. It's pretty easy to connect MLSs. You find them in the back end of our CRM, and you plug in your MLS, and then you connect. That's pretty much how easy it is. We take care of all the paperwork digitally. You sign it, done. And then we send it to your MLS. Here's one of my favorites, and this is kind of a walkthrough. So she's opening the door, welcoming you in. It's pretty cool as far as elaborately done. And these are some of the more beautification, I call them, as opposed to like a more standard type of real estate website, which is this one. So the reason why I shared that with you is just to kind of give you the breadth of what we're capable of doing. And if you have some unique ideas, you can get really creative, and we can help you implement that type of strategy. So, okay. Any questions on websites or anything at all, guys?
Leon, yeah, Leon had asked previously, and I don't know if we were able to track down the answer yet, John. If an agent belongs to, let's say, one MLS, but wants to put 4 or 5 MLSs on their property search on their website, is that possible? Like, do they have to belong to the MLS they show the IDX feed for?
So, compliancy purposes say that obviously, since this is your domain, whatever your domain is, in order to pull property data from any MLS, you must be a member of that MLS unless it's sponsored by your broker or the brokerage, but yet it has to fall underneath a cascading type of design, meaning a subdomain. And that is pretty strict as far as MLS compliancy. And I'm still waiting for our tech people to kind of provide me with a little bit more information, but as I understand it, that's pretty much the answer to that. You must be a member if you have your own domain, because the MLSs look at the actual feeds as one website, and this domain is not underneath, sort of like,
right.
Yeah. So
it's not a radius subdomain.
Yeah. It's not a radius domain, whereas if it was a radius domain, then you can pretty much plug in as many MLSs as you'd like. So.
Yeah. I've actually had an MLS in the Bay Area reach out to us and tell us to pull feeds from certain agents' websites because they do audit periodically.
Yeah.
So I think better safe than sorry. We should just limit it to what the agents belong to.
Sure.
So the way, John, the way it's happening for me with Real Geeks is, and it's probably the same, I would imagine. It sounds like it's a compliance issue. But so let's say the San Francisco MLS, for example, right? It's connected to all the other MLSs throughout Northern California. So as a front end user, I can put in a listing anywhere in Northern California, and it will be visible to agents using a different MLS system. As can I pull listings, the same way. Now, when it comes to IDX, it's different. So what the site will show is only listings that were entered through the San Francisco MLS. So essentially offering other areas would really limit the results, because that would be a small percentage of listings. So I imagine is that the same thing? Are we talking compliance? So it would be like
your compliance, meaning that, for instance, CRMLS down in like Orange County and that area, they have MLSs which are known as carrots, and a couple other MLSs that are attached, but they're not like, you don't have to be a member of carrots in order to get display, because CRMLS has like a reciprocal arrangement with carrots MLS. So as long as your MLS is allowing you to pull other data feeds, and they obviously pull that information, that answers that compliancy purpose. So I hope that is
well, what I'm saying though is that the pulling and entering when you're logged into MLS is not the same as what the IDX feed is. Right.
You're exactly correct. So when you are a member, meaning when you're actually an agent looking at that MLS, like you're inside your own MLS and you're pulling information, for compliancy, it's only going to display that information by which you have that IDX feed for.
Okay. So the simple answer sounds like it wouldn't be any different through Lofty.
No.
It's not up to you guys.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is with IDX, right?
It's the way it is. So
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
I figured, but
I mean, it's
worth asking.
It's a good question. So yeah. So we're gonna kind of take a look at a couple different things here, as far as like, I want you guys to get a sense of the data and lead capture on what happens from a nurturement standpoint. And you can see here, so you guys can obviously rename or take these buttons, and actually, these are like, call them as they are. They're like placeholders, so you can call them whatever you wish. If you wanted to have a button here that said investment or rentals or other partners, you could do that. So we really provide you with, the ability to really take these websites and customize them. So that being said, there are some standards. You got to have a search box. You got to have featured listings. You got to have certainly, the ability, you can explore your areas as far as make the listings that are, isolated to different zones in the city. Are they waterfront? Or as long as the information can be pulled and segmented from the MLS in any way, shape, or style that you wish it to be displayed, you can actually display that on your website. So for those of you that actually deal with foreign type of, or should I say other languages, or have a audience that's dedicated to, Spanish, etc., we have the ability to display other languages and also currency. So just as an edification. All right, we're gonna actually play a little game here called home valuation. So this is a lead capture type of a call to action, and we frame our lead capture as such, a call to action. Somebody wants to give you the information, somebody wants to provide those details to you. It's called a call to action. So everything is geocoded, and what I'm going to do here is fill out my own address here. If I can type here. Hampton, everything is geocoded, so it fills it out and say, get my report. So we take this information from the MLS, from publicly available information, and also from other data sources. And just for edification, who wants to volunteer to be my guinea pig here?
I can do it.
Okay. And can you give me your name, please?
Jessica Lawrence.
Okay, Jessica. Okay, and let's see if you're already in here, but did I get it right? Lawerence?
Skip the middle E. No E before the R.
No E before the R. Okay.
Yeah. And then email
right.
is jess@radiusagent.com.
Jess at Radius. You might be in there, but we'll see. And phone number?
650.
650, yeah.
207.
207.
0857.
0857. Great.
Yes.
Okay. So we actually get to say, okay, continue. So you have single sign-on, and then you hit next, and you already have a email. Yes, so you're already registered with us. So basically, that means that you put that away. Great. All right. Let's just hit it again. No worries. It's all right. Okay. So what's my homework, right? So let's start again.
I can give you a different email address if you want.
Okay. NCE. All right. Email.
Let's do JRZ.
JRZ, yeah.
Lawrence@gmail.
Okay. Lawrence, got it right. At Gmail. Everything. Okay. And
650. Or whatever you put.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of make up something for a sec.
Cool.
All right. So we hit let's see here, property found, hit test, hit continue, hit next. So what happens is that you have a questionnaire. So you guys can design these questions, you can not have them pop up, it's really up to you. Hit confirm, and we have a high, low, and medium estimate of your property.
I just got 2 emails from Michael.
Okay, cool. So welcome to real estate, right? So this little chat bot pops up. It says, hey, what's going on? It wants to talk to you. It wants to actually quantify the customer's actions, the how, the why, the what. And as it begins to collate this information, it really pinpoints this and brings it into the back end of our product. So we're going to jump right into the back end of the product for your view. And please, if anybody has any questions at this point, feel free. Okay.
I will just say that the first email was my login information and introduction to the agent. And then the second email was my home valuation report. And they both came in before you were even done filling out the questionnaire.
It's pretty instantaneous. That's the wonderful thing about our on being on top of the actual prospect, so to speak. So the dashboard,
Does it text as well or just email?
text and email, and you can choose how you wish it to operate. So if you don't want it to text, you can say email only or text only. It's up to you.
Is the text, can you get like a local number
So
instead
you
of an
can
email?
get a local number. So the text is everyone gets basically 2,000 text messages per month, unless you decide to like get an unlimited plan. And the local number can be chosen if you so desire. You just basically say, hey, I want a 405 or whatever the area code is that's appropriate to you. And what it looks like is we have something called a bridge number, meaning this is your voice over internet protocol number or VoIP. You can mask it to look like your cell phone. So when it calls out, it's going to display whatever your cell phone is. Or if people are familiar with the number that you're calling from, they're going to know to pick it up.
Yeah. Calls out? You mean
Yes.
text?
Both. Calls out, text, and email.
It makes calls?
Yep.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so it's called voice activation. You tell the AI, I need to call so-and-so and say connecting now. And it'll connect you to that person that you want it to connect to. You talk to it like a voice activated. It's called your voice activated AI. And it'll make the call. Yeah.
It doesn't make robocalls.
No, it's not going to make robocalls.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, we don't want that. So yeah. So this is your dashboard. So just kind of highlight for you. You have these are your navigation buttons: website, reporting, marketing, etc. You have my dashboard, and this is really going to be your personal dashboard to your business. You have your financials. We're connected to the MLS as well as other financial applications to know where I am from an earnings capacity, what I've forecasted, tasks are my to-do list, and this is really where you will spend a fair amount of your time as far as these two boxes here. New leads and opportunities. Other highlights, just kind of really giving you the overview of, so if you want to jump in to see your MLS, open houses, new listings, so forth. And we also have some hot buttons for taking a listing, creating a video for it. If you want to actually look at any drip campaigns or smart campaigns in motion, you can. Also a community news board that will tell you what's going on at the team level, brokerage level, etc. So if you go new leads, this is really going to capture what happened today. And you're going to see here that Jessica is going to pop up. Jessica is a new lead. We talked 3 minutes ago, etc. And you can do things like, hey, take a look at my pipeline. You can move this around. You can actually rename the stages. And really, this is going to be apropos for how you practice your business. And we'll put that away. If you want to shrink your views here, get rid of any columns, you can do that as well. And if you notice here, you say my leads are all my leads. So all leads are going to be display everything in your database. My leads are going to be those things that are personal to you, display what you're hot listed. And if you have collaborative leads that you've actually worked on with your lender, they will display here. But you also have what we call segmentation. Segmentation is going to be what we call bucketed, meaning those classifications of clients that you wish to put into a personal like a filter or a bucket, or they're called many different things. You can create a tag list, so forth. So this classification is really innumerable. So let's go back to our leads here and take a look at, notice when I check here, you can do things right from this actual people page. You can mass email, you can mass text, you can send to my dialer. I have a mass text. So if I wanted a mass text, you could do this. And we actually have the ability to do this. We have a chat GBT integration as well, that you can actually use it to write the body of the text And so it thinking. And as you see that little pixie dust, you can ask it what to say, and you can give it prompts and so forth to actually write the message for you. Question? Okay. In addition, you see that closely link. That closely link is something that, hey, is a great tool. Send it out to your customers as your communication with your customers on a on-demand type of application. Send it to them, and you can communicate with them, and it captures the actual text messaging and live look and other things that you're doing with your clients. So, all right, we're gonna actually take a look at a live record. So that you get the appeal for what it's like to text and call. So let's take a look at, okay, this is how we can add a client if you ever had. So one of the things that I actually want to just explain is, see that you want to add a new a family member. We're one of the only companies that actually take a husband, wife, put them on the same record.
How you doing? Good, good. Yeah, yeah. All right. I'm gonna just walk in. Yeah. What's your name? Eddie. Nice to meet you too. I'm here every Thursday. No.
There we go. All right. So did we catch that, or did anybody need that question? Did you guys need that question answered, or did you understand what I said about adding a husband and wife or uncle or children to the record, and they all exist under one contact record? If not, okay. So you guys can still hear me, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so we're gonna take a look at a live CRM record in here. Brian Almindo is my guinea pig here. Brian Almindo is my contact record. So you notice here, if you were looking at your mobile app, you can download for Android and Apple. This view would be a condensed version on your mobile, and you can actually call, email, but let's text. The text would be, hey, I want to say whatever. And you can see that, say, hey, thinking, what do you want to say? Can you provide me some details? That you go out, okay? Email is integration into Outlook, Gmail, Apple Mail, etc. It's going to come from your email, not from on behalf of Lofty. It's your email. The client's going to see your name. So we have a dialer as well. You can dial, it pops up with actually a dialer, and you can dial it, etc. over here. And all of your personal information regarding the client is here. You have this phone number, you have their hashtags, whatever they're interested in. And then, of course, we're tracking this lead score, which is going to be based on this engagement here. Engagements are, and here's where we begin to shine as a company. Our AI is tracking your customers looking at properties, sending to them MLS-driven property alerts. MLS-driven property alerts are going to be based on price point, city, etc. The more they open it, the higher the lead score goes. Market snapshots. Market snapshots are also what we call sold data. So this information is sent to the client automatically. And you can personalize it. You can put your own picture. You can put your whatever you wish to actually be emblematic of your brand. And we have home reports, which is an equity-driven type of report that actually go out to your customers. And you can see here how we have these different things, monthly, weekly, instantaneously, so forth and so on. So a really cool feature is the analysis about taking a look at the client themselves and actually how they communicated with you. How do I like to be communicated with based on my style? Web activities, what they save, what they search, what they viewed, etc. And then, of course, we assess a lead score to it. We're bubbling up that to the surface based on an algorithm that's actually validating the customer's interest. Questions at all? Okay. So
this is the lead score essentially is it's connected to how active they are on your site.
correct. Yes. And other things like how often they actually open up their text, how often they pick up the phone, how often they interact with you, etc. All your activities, whether it's an email, whether it's a text, whether it's a note, all of that stuff is being cataloged for you. So you have a viewpoint from the beginning of the relationship all the way to the end and continuing on throughout the life cycle of this customer. You can see here his emails, there's notes, there's phone calls. You can see that I've recorded some phone calls here. Michael made a call to this guy at XYZ, talked to him, liked 123 Main Street. Emails, all of them, everything that's going out, text messages, and other things that are associated with this customer's liking and attributes. So other things that we can say here is we're constantly tracking what this consumer is looking at as far as price point, where they're looking, and if they have a shift, meaning their behavior actually changes, we're going to track that and orient it so that the information we're sending them actually is appropriate. So, okay, let's talk about dates. Let's talk about other stuff that's really relationally driven. So you can send out snail mail or digital pieces through our platform. The AI remembers this, only has to, the date is gleaned or you enter it, and the target type is this, and you can see how it says recurs, never ends. So this is always going to happen. Anyone whose birthday is on this particular date, we can actually set up a workflow or an individual card to go out to this particular client. Is that cool? Everybody get that? Okay. And then we have other things like we call what we call smart campaigns or blitzes or what they call like, I need to be top of mind. And we're quantifying the awareness. So you actually can integrate things like BombBomb, Dub. Also, we have a white label feature for uploading cell phone video. And our logic, meaning the actual drip campaign or smart campaigns, as people refer to them as, is based on a what if then that type of logic. So if somebody actually calls you in the middle of or decides, hey, I want to make an offer, and they call you, the system is going to recognize that it's that person's phone number and record it, make a note, but the pipeline is going to change. So therefore it'll trigger a yes or no type of decision. The no decision will be, hey, or yes decision will be pipeline change. So to stop the drip campaign. So, okay. I think we've spent a fair enough time on the actual record of the customer. We're going to jump to marketing.
Just real quick, how can it possibly track when they call you?
Because inbound, you have what we call, so if this number called me here, this number called to your cell phone, it's being forwarded to your voice over IP number, and it's going to connect the two of them. It's like a bridge, what we call a bridge phone number.
If I remember correctly, you need to have the Lofty app installed on your cell phone.
You do.
And you have it hooked up to your like phone contacts, and then
Yep.
it grabs the phone logs that way.
Yep.
And you can also use the cell phone app to initiate calls to your prospects or anyone in your database as well. Like the mobile interface is super easy to use. You don't have to be sitting in front of a laptop to use the CRM.
So
you couldn't send any
calls. Is it a data call then? Is that what it just converts all the calls to data? They're not cellular calls. Is that what happens?
So basically, through our mobile app, is that you have this voice over internet protocol or voice data plan, which basically takes the mobile connection and masks it so that when it comes in, they think they're calling your number, but it's connected internally from our app to your phone. And again, from a securitization standpoint, I don't have any access to your personal data. I don't know who your contacts are. It's not like I'm taking your database and actually like ripping through your personal information. We don't do that. And the way that obviously the technology works is that it's called a bridge phone. When somebody calls your phone number, we then call our bridge phone internally and then it connects the two. So that's how it works. Okay, let's jump to marketing for a sec, and we're going to explain all of the ways that we actually can help you get in front of your customers. So a couple things that I'll point out. We have a design center here that you guys can, utilize for your own particular purposes. If you could drag a mouse and upload and type a phone number, you can do it. So this actually is birthdays, business cards.
You got social media designs in here. That's nice.
Yeah.
Could you click on that for a sec? I just want to see what kinds of stuff you have.
Which button? I'm sorry.
Like social media.
The social studio. Sorry. Okay. Social media. There you go. So those are going to be pretty much all of the
like Thanksgiving
miniatures.
stuff, holiday stuff. Nice.
It's going to be miniatures of the postcards that'll go directly to your social media channel. Yeah. You want to do postcards, you want to do handwritten postcards, etc. We do have just to kind of jump around here, we do have a print center. A print center is our mailing, and you can see here when I find it here, print house. There we go. The print house is any design that I just shared with you. You can actually do one postcard or thousands. It's really up to you. Costs anywhere from 50 cents to $1.50, depending on the postcard and the size of the actual postcard and the postage. And you can see here how we have one-offs, monthly plans, or smart campaigns as part of the workflows that we call them. So
we could set up a postcard farm campaign that would send out a postcard a month for a geographic area that would be under a smart plan.
Yes, so you could do that, or you could do it like a targeted area. You can actually specifically go to a zip code and lay out a polygon of the area and decide, hey, I want to do like a 1 mile radius of the property or 2 miles, whatever. And we'll give you some statistics about the local area, about how many homeowners there are, total properties, and then decide that you want to run it. So you can do it one of two ways. You can set it up as a workflow, or you can do specific campaign focuses.
Cool. Do we have to pay a subscription, like an additional cost to?
Yeah, it's actually an additional cost for the geo farming, and it's based on how many and what the area is. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a pay per postcard kind of deal.
Yeah. It's like, I think the minimal investment's like $80 or $89, and
that's cheap. Yeah.
So
I usually recommend like 3,000 postcards, so maybe much more than that. And are you guys leveraging EDDM, or can you leverage EDDM, or is it just by the actual addresses?
it's just by the actual address. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Makes sense. Thank you.
And if we go back to our social studio, but good questions. Create the studio. So let's just say, hey, I have a listing I want to plaster to my social media channels. Hit your listing. So any listing that is taken, whether it's your team listing or your listing, or even the brokerage listing for that matter, you can say, hey, I want to select this one, send it to your however many social media channels you're a part of. We don't discriminate. I think the only one we don't do is Snapchat. So
if this is connected to our MLS for the website, is it going to pull in our listing details into these, or do we have to type in the listing details?
no, it'll pull in all of the listing details.
So you like go and choose which listing and then apply the template you want?
Correct. Yep.
Amazing. And this one is included in
Yeah, it's included. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep. Landing pages are what we call, and again, just to not belabor the point, but if you have landing pages, social media, or customized blogs, or you want to use ChatGPT to write a blog for you, you can. And you can plaster it to your social media channels. That's the logic.
So I've got one additional question on Design Center.
Please.
Do we only access designs like that we've uploaded or that Lofty has created, or can we create a design from scratch, kind of like a Canva?
So if you wanted to create a design from scratch, this is your open canvas, and you can start to pretty much play with it as you would. So you can do text, you can add a subtext, you can add a header. It's like the poor man's version of Canva. So photos, upload your Canvas, property details if you enter in the MLS because it's connected to the MLS, enter the property address, and it'll pull the data right out of the MLS for you. And then elements, icons, and stored logos.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. Let's go back.
This combines so many tools into one for agents. It's just, I don't know, it feels like a no-brainer. I don't know why you would recommend anything else.
Yeah, you know, yeah. So landing pages are single property page websites, but I don't want you guys to get hung up on the fact that you can only use this for single property page websites. You can use this for anything. You can build your own landing page canvas like you would a blank canvas. You can actually use it for, you know, making your team bigger if that's your thing.
Like a
Or you can
recruiting page.
highlight. You can use it for a recruitment page. You can use it for a vendor highlight. You can use it for a lender expose. You know, whatever. It's up to you guys.
Can you purchase a unique domain for a single property website? Like, for example, if you've got a condo in San Francisco, can you purchase the domain?
Yeah. Usually,
sfcondo.com?
yeah, usually it's a subdomain of your main domain, but yeah, you can. So
You could do a separate domain as well.
yeah. It's a
And
little
we
bit
could purchase
more.
the
Again,
domain
you have
through
to-
here, or we would purchase it on a third-party site and then just
I know
use
you
it.
can actually purchase it through our marketplace.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like whatever the domain is. It's like
Yeah,
12
it
bucks,
depends on the
30
URL.
bucks. Depends
Yeah.
on how popular the domain name is, and
Right.
yeah. So
That's great. Is there a
It's
limit
true.
to how many single property sites we can have up at a certain time?
as long as you keep purchasing domains, you know.
Okay. If we don't purchase domains, though, it would be a subdomain of our
Yeah, it's
website.
a subdomain of your main page. Yeah.
Cool.
As far as like how to edit like a single property website, let's say I wanted to just display my photo differently, or I had a block, drag and drop. That's how easy it is to edit these things. Drag.
You really got
and-
my wheels spinning about all of the other tools that are combined into one with Lofty. Do you guys have an open house tool? Like
Yeah.
for guests to sign into open houses?
So if we go here to open house, you can see you can do it by digital, or you can do it by in person. So if it's in person, this is what it would look like. You can scan a QR code or fill in the form by giving them an iPad or mobile, and then fill in the form. And these questions you guys can design and decide, you know, what you want to ask.
Jamie, just for your knowledge, if you've got agents who don't have any systems set up, or they've got a gazillion systems and they need to consolidate, we only need to tell them to get two tools. It's Radius Office and Lofty. That
Right.
covers the entirety of their business.
Yeah.
And it's only
Yeah.
$50 a month.
Yeah. I mean, you said it correctly. So yeah.
It's just such a no-brainer. I
yeah,
really
yeah.
love it.
I do have
We
a
go back-
question on
Please.
the pricing. $50 a month per agent. I'm assuming per user.
Yeah, so Jamie, the
Yeah.
deal that we have, it's $50 per agent. If they're a larger team, once they hit 15 users, the team website gets baked in. So the standard plan comes with an agent site, meaning each agent has their own site. But if they want a team site, like where they can distribute leads to different agents and that like meet all of our agents page on their site, that's an additional $99 per month for that team site. But once you hit 15 agents, that's included in the $50 per agent. It's like a bulk deal you get.
Got it. So a team, like if you had like the main team page, $99 a month, and then $50 for every agent
Correct.
have their own. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
And if you only have two agents, or like Leon, he's a one-man show, he would just use the agent site as his company site. He would not need to pay extra for a team site. And like we've got Cowtown in Texas, they have like 2 or 3 agents, but he's using the agent site as the Cowtown site. And then his other agent is just using an agent site. It's not a subdomain, it's a different URL because he doesn't care if his agents have a different URL. So he's able to get by without the additional cost for a team
Got it.
website.
Okay, because I'm about to, like I said, I've got a demo with somebody tomorrow.
Yeah, makes sense.
She has a team of 4, including herself. So it might be worth her to just do the one single page.
Yeah, depending on what her goals are. Like if she wants to recruit a lot, a team site makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks.
So is it 100 or is it 50? I'm sorry. I'm
So it's
hearing
50 per
different.
user. And then the team site, which you don't need, Leon, would be $99 once, like, so a one-time 99 plus $50 per user. Once you hit 15 agents, then that team site is for free because it's included in the bulk pricing.
Got it. Okay.
So you would just be $50, Leon,
Yeah,
and you get a
you-
website with it.
And does Lofty host your domain, or is it, or do you
Yeah.
or do you do your own hosting?
Meaning
do-
that if you have your domain like through GoDaddy or some other service, you just take the DNS and just repoint it toward our servers. But if you purchase a domain through us, we host the actual physical website.
So it's
So
flexible.
mine is I bought mine through GoDaddy, but it's being hosted by Real Geeks.
We'll
So
host
how
it for
would
you.
I just point it back to GoDaddy and then like do a
You can do
DNS
either.
to
You
you
can do either.
guys?
You can have
Or
Lofty take it over, or you can update your DNS records in GoDaddy
Yeah, I mean,
to
yep.
give Lofty access to it.
You just repoint the DNS and you'll be fine. So yeah.
well, maybe
just
I'm
so you-
okay. This might be a different conversation. That's not part of this, but yeah, that part confuses me a little bit,
Okay.
just in general.
We can work through it
Yeah.
when we do your implementation, Leon. No problem.
Right.
Okay, all right.
Just so you guys know, a lot of competitive platforms are built for top of the funnel or lead capture, and they have no SEO in the actual landing pages or websites. We actually do put in some fairly decent SEO so that when customers are looking for homes in wherever you might be located, there you will come up higher on the search engines than a paid advertising platform would, such as other competitive products that are out there. So that are strictly geared toward, paid advertising versus organic traffic. So that being said, just so you know, here's the SEO that we're delivering. And this is kind of what you would be exposed to, your clients would be exposed to as far as looking at the mobile app. And you can see here how it looks. We were a mobile company first. So there's the information for you. So, okay. I kind of want to jump to our marketplace here. So if you do, just FYI, before I just do that, before I forget, we do have some do-it-yourself lead generation tools if you choose to actually participate in. We have a zip code blast, which actually is you pick the zip code and then you decide it's fairly inexpensive. It's $79 to however much you want to spend based on a zip code blast and how the duration is, how long you want to run it for. You enter it, and then of course we'll tell you how much it'll cost, and we bill your credit card. And you can see that we're going to track all the information here as far as active leads, deals closed, so forth. One of the things that actually we do pretty well is we're very transparent about where your money is going. So if you choose to participate in lead generation, and not to really get into the weeds, but transparency is what our company is about. We want you to be aware of that all the money that you spend with us, we're going to track it and tell you where you got all your impressions, what the clicks were, what the cost per lead was, what the actual conversion ratios are, etc. So we want you to be fully aware of what's going on from the analytics standpoint. And we go back to that do-it-yourself listing blast. So this is actually one of my favorite tools. For very little money, you can spend as little as $79 to $89 a month and get a listing blast on. It's like property boosting, except it goes through our particular platform. Total cost is you can choose to promote a listing, and it's very inexpensive. And today's charge is $89, and it'll run for like 4 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you get to see what the estimations are as far as views to your listing. So.
How can you target a zip code through Facebook and I assume Instagram as well? Just doing it on my own, there's what's called the special housing category or special ads category where housing is one of them. This is like a result from a lawsuit they had years ago. So
Yep.
there's like essentially no workaround. So they don't allow you, if you put in a zip code, for example, you're required to do a 15-mile radius around that zip code.
So it's going to be a 15-mile radius, but point well taken. We're specifically taking within a 15-mile radius, and then obviously doing what we call dynamic ads, which are going to be the listings in a dynamic fashion instead of focusing on like a type of homeowner or a specific person in a homeowner, because that particular lawsuit was based on what we call Title IX. And this really takes a step back from Title IX and really is dedicated, for a wider preference. So our average guys have been with Facebook and with other Facebook and the other one, Instagram and other types of lead generation platforms. Our average tenure is like 7 to 10 years with those firms, and these guys are experts, particularly with regard to how they actually utilize and execute the actual ads. So you've certainly figured it out, and we've been doing it for the last 6 to 7 years. So I've seen it be successful, but good question. So, all right. I've covered this stuff. So certainly a couple of things that probably want to pay attention to. We do have a CMA feature as well. We have a basic CMA, which is more of an entry point. It's more of a, hey, it's a templatized, you get to put your picture there. Our listing presentation is a little bit more aesthetic as far as meaning you get a lot more customizations. And I'll share with you how that looks. So you can customize your photograph. You can actually put in a lot more information, such as, and we can play around with the comps if you so desire. And then of course you get your estimated home value. So this is what the basic version looks like. So that will suffice to probably about 80% of your clients. The other 20% can get a more customized type of listing presentation, and the listing presentation includes like price per square foot in the local area, homes that have sold, what the actual trends are in the area, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, and let's go back here, and then I'm going to pull out, before I forget, our robust marketplace. We do have some direct integrations, which if you have Dotloop, DocuSign, Dub, and other BombBomb and other types of services, and you can see here from a productivity standpoint, all this stuff is free. There you can plug in, your Google Calendar, your Outlook, etc. Marketing services. We have a company called Dipty, but other types of integrations. If you're using like an accounting package and you want to track information that takes your information and puts it into like a Quicken or QuickBooks, you can use API Nation or Zapier to transfer data from one app to the other. But let's see here. Here we go. Transactional type data, Dotloop, we have a two-way sync with. And of course, these are more from a company standpoint, if anybody uses integrate these.
Yeah, we have a proprietary transaction management system. So maybe we'll look into someday integrating it with Lofty.
Yeah. Productivity wise, we already covered that, but other things, if you wanted to see IDX websites, you see, okay, I can buy a vanity domain there. And I certainly can, if you want to enable some other extras, such as language conversion, etc. These stuff is, pretty much, we have a host of other services as well. So anyway, that kind of does it from a nutshell standpoint. I'm going to just kind of take a breath here so that I can open it up for questions.
This is amazing. There's so much you can do in here. a question that nobody asked. If you want to use something in the marketplace, you get charged separately for those things depending on what you're purchasing. So your $50 per month is billed through Radius, but any marketplace purchases are billed to your credit card. So you don't have to
Yes.
worry. We don't like Radius does not manage any add-ons that you have. That's all done through the marketplace. So it's a lot simpler and more streamlined to customize your Lofty experience specifically to what you need. You don't have to worry about Radius administering all of that. We just get you the basic account and then you're good to flap your wings from there.
Yeah. Please.
Hey, can we have a look at the website again? Like the search, let's say, I landed on the site, I'm a customer. Like I kind of want to see what my search experience would be. Home
Sure.
search.
Yep. So let's go back to here. Let's say I'm buying or a market snapshot. Okay, so we have featured listings, and you certainly have you want. So let's say, hey, I have a snapshot here, featured listings, all my listings. You can put video, and you certainly have the ability to search within neighborhoods as well as, and we could just take, let's just take all my listings. So click here to find out. All right. Search for homes. Okay. So your homes are going to be based on county, zip code, or whatever designation that you wish as far as your MLS is segmented properties. So you can search by price, you can search by beds, you can search by more. More information is going to be property type, property details. You get pretty definitive as far as like you can search on keywords, etc. Multiple zip codes if you wish, but kind of the sky's the limit as long as the MLS is breaking down. Property type, multifamily, single family. Again, this is more going to be sort of conducive to what your MLS is actually reporting, because duplexes aren't necessarily as popular in San Francisco in terms of, other areas, etc. So hopefully that answers your question.
Can you connect more than one MLS to it?
You can connect up to 5 MLSs without any recurring fees.
Okay, cool. And is there like that part on top where it says city, county?
Yep.
Is there a way to alter that somehow, like a drop down?
You have a drop
That
down
would-
that if you wish, if you chose that, as far as like, let's say you have multiple cities and you have multiple MLSs, yes, you could choose the city, or you could choose.
Well, just in my own example, it's so
See, like here?
I would have 2 MLSs connected, and I would want like the starting point, San Francisco or Marin County. Like start there, then based on your selection, San Francisco city and county, and then
Yes.
you would go to neighborhoods. Or if you go to Marin County, it would give you a list of all the cities in Marin County.
Yes. So that actually,
Go
when
for
we
it.
walk you through the setup, that you will be able to check or pull what your preferential order is by however you want to set it up. So
Yeah, because I've seen this kind of integration before. To me, it's very confusing and not. It's kind of not particularly not confusing, but just not very intuitive and
yeah,
not
but,
very easy to use. So it'd be nice if there was a way to customize it to make it a little more friendly.
So the customization is behind the scenes, and when you get onboarded, we'll walk you through something called website CMS, and the CMS is really dedicated to taking your website and basically creating how do you want the search box to appear? How do you want to actually let people see your featured listings? Everything from, we cover all of this information with you as far as the ability for how you want the information to be displayed. And the information as far as like listings, will be certainly available to you. So it's a pretty comprehensive onboarding process, and we leave no stone unturned. So
I need to wrap up this demo. We are at time and I have to run to another meeting that also will need to be recorded. So John, thank you so much for being here. This was very informative, very helpful. We will be putting the recording of this session on our Lofty landing page on our
Nice.
marketplace, so that agents know exactly what they're signing up for and can make an informed decision. And I will be sure to reach out to you. And Leon, if you have any other specific follow-up questions, feel free to let me know and I can sync with John as needed to get those answers for you.
yeah, thank
Great.
you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, you too. Bye now.
Bye.